Hello. Thank you, my friend, for waiting so long. Wait, what's happening here? Why is it not loading? There you go. Okay. Let's get my clock going. Okay, there's one thing else I wanted to do, which was turn the lights to a different color. There's only one color that gives let's try them out. No, they're gonna become an alien. Which I am, by the way. According to, that's kind of nice. It's kind of a vibe. One sec. I'm gonna go with this Miami Vice vibe. Hold on. Yeah, according to one of my followers, they saw an orb in my newest video. I'm not laughing at it. Like I was in Amsterdam the other week and I just was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, I am a I am an alien. Like I just look like I am an alien. I just, not even joking, just purely just staring into my soul. Like I'm not a human. Is the internet fucking up? Better not be fucking up on my watch. Okay, excuse my language. So first thing is that I did not remove your first name, that which I must do. So we'll just go with P-R-E. Pre. Okay, so we got a Libra in the house, 12th house Libra. And is the camera, everything going well? I think now it's doing better. So, you want to see your chart? There it is. So we have a Libra sun, 16 degrees in the 12th house, the moon in Pisces in the 5th house, with the ascendant in Scorpio, with Mercury also there, in Venus, conjunct Pluto. That's the rising. Ooh, nice. North Node in Sag, conjunct my moon. So of course you choose me for astrologer. Um, South Node gem. And yeah. Yeah. We have third house. Okay. Uranus, Neptune. Saturn, I see. Ooh, tough. 29-degree Lilith, Aqua. Okay. Okay. And we Chiron midheaven, meant to be a healer. Mars in Cancer, conjunct Vertex. By the way, this is my first reading with my Merlin stone that has been created into a gold pendant. It's a very, 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 very powerful stone. Before I was just carrying it in my finger. And I'm just blown away. Wait, 1 second. I need to go to the bathroom really quickly. I'm sorry. And change to a shirt that makes the stone more visible. Well, I'm gonna wait for the bathroom, obviously. Let's start with the shirt. But yeah, as I'm over here talking, looking for a shirt. I wore this yesterday though. Okay, here we yeah, this is perfect. Um, you know, 12th house Libra sun is very interesting because you're a Pisces moon already, so it's going to be a lot easier for you to have a Libra sun than, oh God, this is like completely my favorite, completely dirty. Uh, gosh, it's a lot easier for you to kind of navigate that world. Okay, here's a white shirt. It's a lot easier for you to navigate that world. The world of the esoteric, the world of the occult, the world of the, you know, the zeitgeist, the underlying energies, all that stuff, right? It's easier for you. As a Pisces moon, right, there is a need for, and I'm probably gonna stare at this like a lot during the stream, I'm just telling you. But this gives me like incredible. Where's my other magical stone? I have two that I use. 2.5. I use this beautiful gold. You can see like the gold was inside it. Gold obsidian. A little bit. It's just so pretty. I'm trying to get the angle right. It's hard with the lighting. It's way like in the sunshine. There you go. You can't see like a taste of like what is like beneath it. But this is really my, it broke into, but the break was a perfect break. So now I use one in each hand. So God wanted that to happen. Anyways, and this one's kind of like a grounding one, so I can just put it like on my crotch area or around that, my legs or something. And that's how I use crystals. I don't really have that many. If I had a bunch of money, I know this is unrelated to the reading, but like I would, like, if I had an excess of money, well, I mean, obviously, like my main priority would be helping people, obvious, but like, I would still treat myself. And one of the ways I would do that would be by buying, I would buy a bunch of alchemy and a bunch of crystals. I would like buy a crazy amount of those two things. Um, and of course, like stuff that helps me for my business. One sec. I haven't looked at this. Is this thing like the carat of gold it is, or is it just like a fuck up? Okay. It says something I can't read. That's not a fuck up. It's the type of gold or the quantity of gold. I don't know. It's good amount of gold though. I need to get a new chain too. Maybe not. But then I can't. I have two pendants. My other one's yellow sapphire. That's like a Vedic astrologer that I haven't get that. But I think I need to get like a silver. No. Yeah, maybe another gold chain. That's so expensive, especially now the economy. Okay, done with this part. Okay. So, Libra with Pisces, it's a very interesting mix, but the reason that it works for you, I mean, there are two signs that know nothing. You have a quincunx. You see it's exactly 150 degrees. 16 degrees, 16 degrees. So a quincunx sun and moon is, I'll go back to my face. It's very difficult. Because like I said, it is two energies that know nothing about each other. Now, what you're saving grace is, and I'm gonna go more into sun quincunx moon. It's really like with quincunxes, they have to be like within a few degrees. With the sun and moon, of course, it's more, but when it's exact degree between your sun and your moon, any aspect, that instantly becomes the most important aspect of your entire chart. Of course, duh. So we're gonna dive into it. And I think sun and moon would have an maximum orb of probably like 5. When with quincunxes, you know, like if it's like above 3, I won't even like look at it, you know. So, you know, basically with like it just gives like lots of inconsistency in terms of mood. It's very changeable. It's really tough. Because one energy is like, one second. I'm doing a reading. One second. So, yeah, it makes one like kind of go back and forth. Usually quite inconsistent moods, and personality that can kind of like be here, then here, then here, then here, then here. A lot of people with Sun conjunct Moon feel like unable to relax, and really, especially with relationships, and really find that harmony in relationships. And it can lead to like lots of like anxiety disorders and kind of neuroticism, insecurity. Um, so what happens is that, you know, the masculine side, which in this case is Libra, is more assertive, um, is at odds with your emotional feminine side, right? And if one side dominates, that's where like tension escalates. So it's kind of similar to Sun square Moon. It's the same idea, right? It's just like two, but like the thing about Sun quincunx Moon is that like at Sun square Moon, at least the energies are in the same modality. In Sun quincunx Moon, there ain't shit that they have to do with each other. Like Libra and Pisces could not be further. Like there's no two signs. I mean, there are, but like there's no two signs further away from Pisces than Libra on one side. That's 5. That's 12 to 7. Hmm? Oh yeah, it's the other side. So, and then what's the other one? The other quincunx would be after the trine. Leo. Yeah, Leo, the one I have. So there's no two signs more different than Pisces than Leo and Libra. Um, and I'm a Leo, and I have in my natal chart I have exact like you, but it's my ascendant in Leo. Quincunx my sun slash Mercury in Pisces. It's exact to the degree, just like yours. So I understand quincunx is in your big 3, not Sun Moon though, but like I have Sun square Moon, so I get it. And the way it's almost like, how can you feed both mouths, right? Um, and usually like um if you don't learn to define both parts, um, if you don't learn to define both parts, you tend to look for that other unconscious part that you're not giving enough food to. Imagine it's like two mouths of you, right? That want totally different things, and you're only feeding one. So what a lot of people do is that they'll find a partner or someone like that that they'll um kind of they'll seek out those energies that they're not able to like express within in that partner. Oh, Esme lost a little bit of weight. Esme, you have a contest coming, a big contest coming up. I hope you're watching my stories these days, because, well, I'm gonna announce it. Here's who I want to win. I think Mika, really, it's gonna be her birthday soon. I'm gonna make it a huge deal. I'm gonna like Haley's gonna promote in her story, and it's going to be a chance to win a free mini reading. Just all you're going to have to do is vote for if you're on Team Mika, Team Esmit, or Team Fakes. That's it. You know, it's a big deal. I'm hoping to have, over 1,000 votes. And then I'm going to do a raffle. Maybe I'll even give away 2 mini readings. I don't know. Maybe I'll give away 1 mini reading and 2 like quick 10 to 15 minute ramble readings, which I've never even done before. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the energy, right? Lots of like kind of emotional kind of ups and downs. But it makes you very successful in your professional life because you have this like edge, right? And a lot of times the parents were very, very different, usually divorced, and had very different worldviews. And it can be hard for the child to incorporate both and make sense of their life, And yeah, lots of anxiety comes from that, like I said. And especially as a Pisces moon, your psychic boundaries become very thin, and it's very easy for you to take on energies that are not yours. So yeah. Also, like the all over the place energy of that aspect makes you like want to try this, try this, try this, try that. So it's really important to like restrict yourself to like just like a single goal or a few and stick to those. Also, there can be some health imbalances that come from like that kind of nervous and neurotic energy, as everything is psychosomatic. It's often like too much or an insufficient amount of like a certain hormone or chemical. So there's this feeling of like being like always on the go and like a lack of harmony in relationships. That's like the karmic price that you're paying for either past life mistakes or mistakes from like karmic mistakes. So it's very karmic. And a lot of times it comes from like having used emotional manipulation or abused your power in certain ways. So how to make it a good thing? Well, I already said that it's like a chip on your shoulder. It gives you like, when the sun and moon are connected in any way, that's a fucking superpower. So by any important angle, and it's exactly 150 degrees. So you can use that heightened energy level to, the goal is to gain more self-control over negative habits and to gain more awareness of what's Libra, what's Pisces. So one of them is like empathy, which you have naturally as a Pisces moon and as a 12th house sun. So that actually can make this becomes a lot easier for you because it can help resolve a lot of like the power and control issues. Then there's also conscious and subconscious awareness of like the energy flows, like internal and external, that lead to like that kind of more balanced nature. So that's like more like Virgo kind of routine. But or even just awareness of this existence, routine and just doing things that make you happy, doing things that feed both. And from, also it's having a 12th house sun, karmic guilt gets removed when you are of service and you have Chiron on your midheaven. So if you're meant to, if you are some type of healer, even a doctor, something that helps humanity, and there's so many different ways you can do that. It's really good. The karma improves by being of service, not heartless, heartfelt service. And then that contagious energy, because it's a lot of energy, enthusiasm leads to great health, wealth, and happiness. So, see, it can really go either way. second. Mika, psst, psst. 1 second. I want to get a photo of this. That's stupid. She's not involved this trick. Mika. 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 Oh God. Not what I want. No, say my line, Mika. Mika, look. Mika. Mika. Got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing this, but I have to do it. And I also want you to digest everything I just said. Really take it in. So on that topic, it's like, okay, well, let's know more. Like let's know about let's know more. Let's know what the energies. Well, okay, so basically, um, as I said, one sec. So as I said, like the energies at play here are the energies at play. Hold on. I can't believe the video I put out got so many views. I was wondering, I was like, am I gonna have my first like 10,000 view, 1,000 like um video? I said that when it was at like 300, and this wasn't a video I made um like for that purpose. It was like I wasn't even gonna release it to the public, just my subscribers, but I just like got like a divine message in my head that was like, you need to let people know about this because it's gonna help people to know that the energy is so bad in these next few days and very dangerous, really, really dangerous. So I'm satisfied that I did that, and it's just interesting how it's my most viewed video ever in like by far, and it hasn't even been out for 16 or 17 hours. So it's kind of crazy, right? Um. Anyways, okay. So let's focus now, Jesse, Mr. Pisces. Um. So okay, your Pisces moon. This is what's really interesting. So 12th house sun, like having a life of service, a life of spirituality, is very important to you. Now, with your North Node in Sag, conjunct Pallas, you're here to see the bigger picture, right? And you're here to really, from that bigger picture, to have a sense of identity that is more firm and that's more rooted in truth. So for that very reason, you are here to find truth. Now, it is very obvious when looking at your chart that we see that sexy, beautiful grand trine between the moon at 16 Pisces and the ascendant at 11 Scorpio, and also the Venus at 17 Scorpio and the Pluto at 21. So it's the stellium and Scorpio all gets hit, and Vesta. But yeah. And of course, the apex is Mars. So that's 4 of the 6 personal planets involved in one grand trine in fire houses. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's impressive. So what might that create in someone? Let's think. Oh, water, grand trine, and fire houses. What happens when you put water and fire together? Well, the water burns the fire. But there's not actual fire energy here. There's just fire houses, which means that it's the arenas of life linked to identity, linked to fun and creativity, linked to travel, right? So that's not actually happening. So you were born in India. I highly doubt you live in India right now. And I love India. You know I love India. I fucking love India. I'm an India man. Like I want to go to Rajasthan. I want to go to Kerala. I want to go. I'm gonna do. It's me and Trey, my friend, brother, talked about this for a long time. Our India trip, our famous India trip that never happened because we both fucking became complete fucking pussies and got girlfriends and COVID happened. But it's gonna happen when we become less. I wish pussy or bitches like I wish that wasn't part of language, you know? Like stop being such a bitch. Like I wish there was a word that was like sounded as cool, you know? Like I wish it was like I could express the sentiment of like of that. Like stop being such a pussy, stop being such a bitch, without sounding so sexist and cruel. I'm not trying to be all fucking lit. Or not lit, like woke. I'm just saying that I wish that existed, you know? And I like, I don't know. Stop being such a baby is dissing babies. I'm not trying to diss babies. Babies don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Okay. Rant over. So, let me continue my beautiful poetic explanation. So that is huge, right? Seeing the big picture. Past lives, you know, we have to look at the squares. So there's Jupiter square in the nodes. Yeah, real quick. That's there. Let me just see if there's anything else that they didn't capture. 24, so it'd be 24 mutable. Mm-hmm. That's odd. I don't know why I didn't say. You also have it square moon for sure. So it's square Jupiter and square moon. That's so odd. Um, let's talk about that. But basically, like to kind of like bring it back a little bit before I go there. Um, you know, the primal energies, Libra and Pisces, are very different. One is very social, one is very, you know, and it does help that you have your Libra sun in the house of Pisces, as I said, the 12th house. But, you know, it, the problem comes when, you know, that you have this very, like, the Libra is a very social sign just by itself, right? It's very diplomatic. It's very, and you have the two signs of your sun and moon that lack boundaries the most. Libra can be the most people pleasing. So you're definitely someone that, like, in this lifetime, like, with your North Node in the second house, which is about boundaries, Taurus, it's about learning boundaries. Um, because the lack of boundaries a Libra has is like never being able to say no, indecision, indecisiveness, you know, and people pleasing, never wanting to kind of like rock the boat and putting themselves last, you know, which is really, really sad because you see some of the most amazing people who just don't value themselves. So that's what you're trying to learn in this life. And it's through, like, getting a reading from someone like me, meeting a great teacher, becoming a great teacher, whatever, you know, just through the acquisition of wisdom, which your Mars in the ninth house is pushing you towards that wisdom, towards that acquisition of more truth. These are the things that make this happen, right? And we'll get back to the grand trine in a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of it. With, like, Pisces wants to sit at home and meditate. It's super spiritual, it's super introverted. It has an emotional need for imagination to be a part of its life, for the dream world. And yeah, I think having a 12th house sun actually really saves you in a lot of ways. I think if this quincunx, right? If you, like, for example, let's say like Libra was in your 10th house and Pisces was in your well, it would be in your, it'd be 7 away or 5 away. So let's say it's in your 3rd house, right? That would be way harder, right? But because the 12th house is the house that is linked to Pisces, it makes it easier. And you can rely more on Piscean stuff, you know, that area of life. Deep spirituality, deep compassion, um, anything behind the scenes. Lots of doctors, politicians have like the 12th house energy. They'd rather like take the back seat than like kind of, you know, um, take like the front role. Um, but yeah, like a lot of times there's a lot of self-sacrifice that's needed to really achieve the highest degree of karmic gain. It's a very karmic placement to have a 12th house sun. And you often feel like your life is just going in this fucking annoying cycle, karmic cycle, until you start to make changes and really look at yourself. So that's that part. A lot of time. Oh yeah, duh. Also, 12th house sun. Many people did not have, either like had no relationship with their father. Father died early. Father was a drunk. Just like didn't know their father. Like something with the father, right? It's or a very weak father. But the thing that they both have in common is that it's during these moments of quiet reflection, um, that really heal you and give you the most emotional, like heal you emotionally the most, right? And like being connected to the psychic world, all that stuff. So, yeah, like also, and of course, Libras can be very, you have an unanswered Venus now, can be very relationship oriented, right? And Pisces is a very, very, very romantic sign. So you have to be really careful in, like, in that area of life, because as you're a Libra, you don't like to say no, in the sense of like you don't like to let people down. Libras, they like the low vibe of Libra is people pleaser. I think you probably learned that by now from my page. and maybe your own study. So Libras need to learn from their opposite sign, Aries. Aries is all about fucking action. Aries is about let's go. I don't give a fuck. Let's just fucking do it. Aries is like, fuck your feelings, like independence. I'm not putting up with any bullshit. I'm not even going to think about what I'm about to say before I'm about to say it. I'm just fucking doing it. I'll think about it later. Aries is a bully at the low vibe, but an assertive person that knows what they want and gets what they want because they are action oriented and first sign and they make fucking decisions. So that's what the Libra needs to learn, but not go extreme. Find the middle ground between that diplomatic Libra and that independent, because you're trying your North Node, which is what I base my whole charts on, is in Sag. So you are looking for more freedom in this lifetime. Now, whenever I see someone that has that access, I know that they are here to learn. And when it's in Sag, it's telling me that there's been past lives where you have suffered from kind of like the low level information, not traveling enough. So traveling is really important to your soul's evolution, right? Seeing different cultures, embedding yourself in different cultures. Now, the cool thing about being a Pisces moon with that is that Pisces moons are chameleons. They can just kind of like, they have that, they're super intuitive, they're psychic. I just had a random sound from a YouTube video that is not playing go off my headset. Okay. Yeah. So Pisces, you're a natural psychic. You are an intuitive, but you feel all the energy so much from around you. You're a sponge. You are a sponge for energy. And also Pisces, they fool themselves at the low vibe. So with relationships, like it's super important for you to take your time and to not go for the potential, but to go for where that person is truly at. Got me? So this is the thing. You, Libra, Pisces, need to look at when you are allowing people to step on you. And that's when you need to lean in to that beautiful grand trine and water. Now, first of all, a grand trine with Scorpio stellium is fucking insane. And I was going to say before that, that's when you need to lean into that Scorpio rising side of you. No, and like, look, I know Vesta's on there. Okay. Vesta and Scorpio, it's kind of like Saturn, but a more fun version. So super dedicated to your work and like just really, really, really it also makes sexual morals really important to you. Um so yeah, like a strict code of ethics in that respect. Um but yeah, Vesta first house is like very entrepreneurial. It's like your focus is yourself. And you're meant to be a little bit selfish in this lifetime. Um, and if that means like some relationships don't work for you, then they don't fucking work, whatever. Um, but like, the Vesta rising people can really focus on their own self-appointed goals, right? So that's really cool. But anyways, so leaning into the T square, now that gives you, or not T square, grant, grand trine. So when you like that's like a crazy grand trine, right? So you have like you know, incredible energy, right? Because like a grand trine, as you know, is like when three planets form a perfect triangle by all trining each other. So it's like one's in Scorpio, water, Pisces, and Cancer. So they all trine each other. Um, so it's very auspicious. And it makes you a master in that element. So you are literally like made to be a healer. You are made to work in something that relates to the emotions because you have this great gift. Now, also, I think you'd be an incredible mother if you're not a mother. But like I feel this Cancer energy very strong for you. And like I think the reason I feel Cancer so strongly for you is because you have that you know, it's conjunct your vertex and it's in a higher part of your chart. But like let me see what aspects. Yeah, there you go. That's why. Because it makes fucking oppositions to Uranus and fucking Neptune. That's why I feel it so intensely. Which, by the way, I don't know if you drink. Ooh, oh my God, look at that. Yo! Wait, no way. Oh my God. You have a kite aspect in your chart. That's so fucking rare. Holy shit. You want me to show you? Oh my God. Special chart. So rare. Okay, so you see the grand trine. You have to like kind of like ignore some of these ones. This, this. You see that triangle? Like, let's just say it's like ascendant slash Venus, whatever, whichever one you choose. Let's just call it ascendant, just because it's more. No, whatever. Either or. Moon, 16 degrees, and then Cancer, 13 degrees, right? So the best one would probably be Venus, but whatever. Doesn't matter. So then look at this. A kite is when you have this opposition, Mars opposite Uranus and Neptune, right? And then you see, you can't really see it, but these sextile, meaning they're 60 degrees away, the Venus and ascendant. And then on this side, they do the same thing with the moon. That is and it looks like a kite. I wish I could move all these other ones out of the way, but boom, 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 and boom, boom. So just want to show you that. I'll talk about it in a sec. Damn, that's crazy. Like, do you really need like okay, well, just really quickly, like a water grand trine by itself, right? Um, that just brings like a rush of emotion to a chart, right? It's uh like so much love to give and so much love in your heart. Um, and it also creates really, really good intuition, really good at managing your emotion. Um, and it makes someone able to feel really deeply and passionately, but use your emotions in a productive way. Not have your emotions be your worst enemy, like that quincunx was kind of like saying what was possible. Um, and, you know, yeah. So like a lot of people get like kind of kind of yeah. But like taken away by it. So the bad good so obviously there's a lot of good things about a grand trine, right? Um but the bad part is that makes it so much of your energy is in one element, which is water. So you're gonna lack a lot of other elements. You have so much water, you're so water heavy. But because it's a grand trine, it's pretty fucking dope. And you do have obviously air as your sun. Um, yeah. So yeah, all that energy feeds off each other and makes the other one better because that's what a trine does. So it's like a megatron, like the Mars benefits from the moon, right? Like the Mars benefits from the trine with the moon, having a connection between your emotions and your actions. And then the moon benefits from the Mars, giving you more of an assertiveness, so that makes up for some of that lack of fire in your kind of emotional like going after your emotions. And then with the ascendant Venus, Mars trine Venus, that's great for love and for kind of like the balancing the feminine and the masculine amongst things. There's way more. I'm just gonna be like little rundowns. And then with the ascendant, the ascendant trining the moon, that's really, really good because what people see is what they get, right? Some people have their moon signs in like fire and their ascendant in water, and people think they're gonna be all fucking empathetic, but they're not. People see the water, and the more they get to know you, so you come off very authentic. You are very authentic. Um, and then yeah, with the ascendant and the Mars, trying the Mars, that actually helps make up for your lack of fire again, because the Mars in Cancer, even though it's in um difficult position, um, it still is able to really, really make you act and, and connect emotions, actions, all that stuff. So you'd only really act in like areas that you really care about, I guess you could say. So yeah, okay, now with the kite. Okay, kites are very interesting, right? So basically, I explained to you what it looks like. Um, so when you add the opposition, it can create how do I explain this? I should just throw you the download. But basically, it can bring like I mean it's very like either or. I don't know. Like it's very like decisive. I don't know. Ah, fuck. I'm like totally fucking up this explanation. Um okay, so basically as you can tell, there's like a right angle that's created in the center, right? Um so only things that usually with this that have like proven themselves to you like if you're studying something like are acceptable, right? And there's like a need to like constantly test through personal experience everything, right? Like it makes you want to know the meaning of everything. And when something in your life becomes meaningless, it's then rejected. right? So it really makes that very, yeah, it's like, it's interesting. Now what can happen with the opposition is that you can just go from like one extreme to the other really quickly. Um, so, yeah. So then, the kite's tail, that's where you have Uranus and Neptune. And that works like a tension ruler. Um, and basically, so, okay, so the bottom part, the Uranus Neptune, right? Um, like that's where there's tension. And then the opposite part, which is Mars, right? Um, that's where um there's these like kind of latent abilities that need to make their presence felt, right? And that planet, which is Mars, right, usually indicates what needs to be accomplished through trying to explain this in non too complicated word. Um, so through the opposition, right, of Mars and Uranus and Neptune, Mars is in Cancer is what really is like the kind of the peak planet is what they call it, right? And that's what everything in the kite is oriented towards is your Mars, which is the planet of action, assertiveness. So all the planets involved, right? Usually it's only um four, but in this case there's there's that stellium, but whatever. So all of the energies of the other planets must work towards the development of the peak planet, which is so that makes Mars a massively important planet in your chart. Now, get this. It's also the ruling planet of your chart because you're a Scorpio rising. Wait, Pluto's the ruling. In ancient astrology, Mars is the ruling. It's the co-ruler, okay? It's a co-ruler. Pluto, Mars rules Scorpio. A hardcore modern astrologer would say, no, it's just Pluto. No, Mars too, motherfucker. Okay. Um. So in either way, it doesn't fucking matter. It just means that you have a very strong Mars in Cancer. Um. So it makes one able to really make correct choices without putting that much effort into it, especially with the water, and misdirect um or not misdirect, direct, like almost like channel energy that's off into a positive manifestation, right? Um, so, and I want to keep talking about this because like this is like a lot of famous people have this. Matt Damon is one that comes to mind, and I see it very rarely. Um, there's this like either or attitude here, right? Because like there's two ambivalent triangles facing each other, right? There's the smaller one and then there's the bigger one. They're facing each other. I mean, just the geography of it, right? Um, so there is like that kind of like either or behavior. So either you're like totally preoccupied with it, it's like 100 or 0, or like you avoid it, like totally preoccupied or you avoid it. So you either use that grand trine for your own development, or you adapt yourself with your minor grand trine to someone else, right? which goes back to my original point about choosing your partner wisely and the people you spend time around wisely. Because for you, my friend, ooh, the effect, the effect, the effect, the effect. Is it ever so massive? More than massive. The most massive possible. You chose the wrong partner can fuck all up everything for this beautiful, beautiful chart. So when choosing a partner, you come to me or a friend that you have that can keep shit real with you. But and maybe you're in a great partnership now. If you're not, just know that Pisces moons have this tendency to kind of see rose-colored glasses and everything's perfect at the start, and then they realize their shit. Fuck. You know, he isn't as perfect as they thought he was. Anyways, so just like literally, if you're ever getting serious with someone, come to me, do a compatibility reading. Message me, I'll give you a discount code. But like you need to do that with the follow-up. So we can talk live about it, you know? Your chart with Libra Pisces, like, because Libra it's very possible for codependency in your chart when you're supposed to be going towards more independence, which is why you are an advanced soul when you do your chart, because those are two very conflicting energies. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So in the small triangle, right? It's more like artistic, devotional. So some people who have this can become hedonists. Um, um, but it's important to like have humility, right? To get people to like want to do good by you, and by the grand trine of water helps is going to make you very humble. But like it just makes you so naturally talented that there can be potential for being a little bit like I'm the shit, you know? Because like something that might be really hard for someone else might be easy for you. Um, so to the right and left of the opposition, right, are the ascendant slash Venus and the moon. Um, and that's where conflicts, tensions, or crisis are settled in like an almost like scientifically accurate manner, like that's like based on super logical observation experience, right? So it kind of adds earth to your chart even though you lack it, this fucking amazing aspect pattern, because it makes you kind of um like very like analytical, right? um like every question has an answer, and for every problem there's a solution, right? So you just need to know what direction's best for developing, right? So yeah, what can I say about that? So it gives lots of external peace, charisma, um the ability to like really like concentrate and tap in, like I said. You can be like a big time achiever. It's just about, yeah, it's about finding the things that make you happy and that make you feel good. So you really get the greatest pleasure from meaningful activities or by making other people happy, service, like your 12th house sign is asking you. So yeah, there's But okay, there's so much I need to talk about with this. Oh my God. Like I could do the whole reading based on this fucking pattern. But okay, so in terms of like the qualities that they bring, yeah, so like there's the issue is perfectionism because it's so fixated on a certain outcome that there can be that 100 or 0 perfectionism. So like it's important to know that if you can't get that, to have a sense of humor about your own failures. And maybe one day your best is 100, maybe the next day it's 90, maybe the next day it's 40. Have self-compassion for yourself. Like you are here, like you're amazing. It is actually really good for being a very good partner. Um, it makes you really require a lot of quiet time, as I said before. Very good for artistic talents, like the like understanding art and even art and doing art itself, and just like having like a right brain, kind of like yeah, it's very very interesting. Um, but then the opposition kind of works like a thorn in your side, right? Um, because it's Neptune Uranus opposite Mars, that kind of gives this like firepower, right? Like Neptune opposite Mars, you have to watch out. I probably wouldn't drink alcohol if I were you, or I would really, especially in these next few days. But like I would, that is creates lots of like insecurities and worries. Um, so yeah, it's like lots, and it can bring lots of very deceptive psychic vampire like people, which I've been telling you, right? So it's really important for you to have your like, and like psychic warfare can come. So it's really important for you to have your like your goggles on of like, like keep your circle small, right? But it makes you really, really good with creative self-expression. And your fifth house moon also gives you an emotional need to express yourself creatively, right? So yeah, really, really sensitive, really, really caring. Um, and then with Uranus opposite Mars, that's the explosive one. That's one of the most volcanic aspects, right? I was just writing about it. And it's very sexual, very exciting, very unpredictable, right? But also very thrill-seeking, very rebellious. So you can kind of gain reputation as like the very like out there, kind of adventurous person, willing to take risks though. But sometimes the rebelliousness can get you into trouble. Um, and piss off the more traditional type of people. Um, but you really thrive on independence, and really hate society's expectations. So, but like the thing is, like the more you stir things up, the greater the threats to your way of life become. People come in who try to like stop your freedom, right? Because you are a natural freedom fighter. Um, and some people just get like a kick out of starting conflicts or just like starting challenges, when provoked. Um, wait, hold up. It's funny because my brother has his son opposite this, and it's a different aspect, but he's totally like that too. It's fucking annoying. His version of it though. Yes, yeah. But yeah, so it's really important to know how to like moderate like the impulsive energy. Choose your fights carefully too, because you can bring like very, very genius people to like debate you and stuff, and you don't want geniuses as your enemies. Um, and yeah, just like really like it's important to really just like kind of take your time before any action. It's gonna make you very impulsive. Um, so yeah, there's a deep desire to help here. Going back to the kite. And it comes from a deep inner pain usually, but a lot of times you feel like you have to repress that inner pain. Um, and you can only really be supported by your own soul, right? So outsiders won't see it because they think you have that inner stability. Um, So it can make it hard with someone with this as kite, but I don't really think so because you do have like, yeah, but it's yeah, to receive help, or it makes it hard for others to help you. Um, but usually you are the one that like is the example, like the elder. Um, the one that people come to for advice and all that. But there can be like isolation. Um, but the Scorpio rising, it makes you very perceptive. You see all the bullshit, right? You see through everyone. So that can be very intimidating for some people, right? But you have to lean into that energy when you have these psychic vampires. You have to really rely on that intuition to not attract like what I just talked about, right? Um, but I think also another thing about the kite, you know, if you actually think about a kite, it resembles the toy that gets blown around by the wind. So that metaphorically emphasizes the ability to remain calm in stormy times, right? You see how everything is connected. Um, so you know, so with perfectionism, I already explained that. Um, just take the pressure off yourself. Work, it's good to self-improve, but it's all about the journey, not the destination. A lot of people feel like a lot of pressure. Maybe you're from a family where like there's that perfectionism placed on you, like succeed, succeed, succeed. But then you do succeed. I don't know. So yeah. And yeah, it's in those houses, hmm, uh, yeah, like the whole thing about like the like it does push away these crises, so this does kind of spiritually protect you, but like the biggest threat is what I just talked about, right? But then Mars in Cancer is about like standing up for your family. It's very, very protective of the family. Standing up for the things that your heart is emotionally connected to, right? So aside that, let's be real. Who else had a kite? Kurt Cobain. I want to find a list of people who had it. Okay. Okay. Well, those are the only two I knew, and those are the only two I recognized. But yeah. Um. Okay. Besides that, tons of charisma, tons of swagger. Okay. And Scorpio risings, when they enter the room, people know they're in the motherfucking room. When they leave, people know they fucking left. That's just how it is. Where your chart go? Now the fact that you have Venus and Vesta rising is very interesting, and I'll talk about Venus, Pluto, and love stuff in a second. But that adds a little more charm, a little bit more charm, a little bit less of that, like that Scorpio rising. It can be so intense. Um, and I'll get into that subject next. Um, yeah, there's just this big, big aura. Um, but sometimes it can be seen as a kind of a superiority thing, so you have to watch out for like coming off that way to people. Um, I had that too. Just like I have Regulus, which is like the star, like it's the star of kings rising on my ascendant. So I always have to watch out for that. Um, so you have that signature in a different way. And what I always say, and this is more of a royal star thing, is when people try to wrong you, when you are, and by the way, I don't sugarcoat shit my readings. I hope you know that. Like, go watch some of my other readings. See if I tell everyone they're a special person. I mean, I think everyone's special. I do. I think everyone has amazing potential. But some people have, they just have things in their chart that are just different, So this is like a very magnetic attraction. And with Scorpio Venus, you're gonna want like a very intense type of love, right? So hmm. so like, and then also from the outside, as a Scorpio rising, no one can see any inner conflict taking place inside you. Like, no one can see through you. That's a cool thing. That's one of the cool things about Scorpio rising, is that like no one sees shit. It's like, you can't read me, motherfucker. Um, so yeah, I mean, just like the sextiles of Uranus, Neptune to the Venus, and then Venus ascendant into the moon. Those are very good for you, and those, on one end reflect like, I mean, both of those sextiling the moon is psychic ability and a very unconventional emotional nature, very inventive, and yes, it's like just the ability to, you know, to really be your own person and to really think outside the box and feel like comfortable with change and feel comfortable with being different, and feel and wanting to know more about so many different subjects, and especially with spirituality. And then on the other side, I think that it gives you this aura, like this just probably such amazing. We have I hope you better have got the follow up. I'll be so pissed if I don't get to talk to you. Let me check. No. Well, if you want to do a follow up, message me. I'll give you a super, super good price. I don't know if you live in India, by the way. So let me know if you live in India, because I know the wages in India are very well. Actually, I know some rich as fuck Indians. Um, because like I started doing a thing where I just gave two yesterday, one to someone from Slovakia, one to someone from Romania. I can't think of a better name. I mean, I'm like, it's poor countries, like, you know, but I'm trying to like give like one or two readings each month for like a way discounted price. People from like poor countries, like just I just had the idea the other day, and just kind of my one of my ways of giving back. Like astrology should be for the masses. So yeah, like I don't know. If you're like, I trust you. Like if you're living in America because you're such a genius that you got, you know, fucking, I know it's a big stereotype, but like, if you like, got like a fucking scholarship to Harvard because you're such a math genius, I don't fucking know, or whatever, or you're just like, you know, but I don't know. I don't know your life. I purposely haven't looked at a photo of you, or I haven't looked at anything on your page. I do that for every reading because I am the best astrologer that is young, best young astrologer, best young Western astrologer, and I don't need to look at shit besides your birth time in your chart, and then I'll look at your fucking Instagram and see and talk to you and hopefully have a follow up. But Yeah, just tell me and we'll figure out something that works. Hopefully, you can be honest with me. Like if saving up for this reading was like a big deal, like, I just understand. I live in Romania. I get it. I get like um how it is. But if you are fine financially, I mean, one of my teachers is Indian and she's she's killing it. She's big time fucking killing it. Oh my God. Uh, she is definitely not poor. I know that the system in India is made so that there's the caste system, right? So I don't know much about it actually. I just know that there's a big separation between the rich, the poor. Yeah. Um. So yeah, lots of charisma. People probably copy you a lot too. Also, another cool thing is like you probably like you're so inventive that you probably have this conception of like the perfect reality, right? And you have to watch out for copycats, like people copying your like big picture ideas. Like I just had a genius idea. By the way, I can prove it actually now. Yes, I improved my IQ. If you don't know my story, I was a party fanatic. Fuck, spilling this shit everywhere. I had a big drug problem with Xanax when I was in my 20s. I had a really fucked up life until I found God. No, but yeah, kind of like I have a book called Pisces Live Nine Lives. It's on every Amazon, international Amazon. I make $3 a copy. Um, but it's really good book, honestly. Like I even I'm like, damn, I fucking did a really good job. Like it's super readable. And I made it for international because I know that one day I'm gonna be famous. I mean, it sucks to like know these things already. I do know that, I've known that my whole life. No, yeah, I have. My whole life I've known that. I felt it. I just didn't think it would be in the way. I think I still don't know in what way, and I don't really care. For me, fame matters more from the perspective of being able to talk to touch more people. Like I feel like I should be the one who has the most influence of any astrologer, you know, because like from what I've seen, I haven't seen anyone else that's as pure as me. I haven't seen anyone else that cares as much about the world, who's been all over the world, who's given so many free readings to people from poor countries, who, I mean, I don't talk about the shit I do, you know. I guess I just guess I just did, but like I just love God. And I don't even understand God, but I love God. It's weird. I feel God at all times. I feel God, but I don't understand God. And I know, and you're people, you're a fucking smart ass motherfucking beta. The Rishis. I'm so fucking dumb. I think my IQ looks like it's fake now. Like, what are they called? Not the Vedas. Oh my God. Sorry, I only slept 5 hours last night. The old Indian sages. What the fuck were they called? Rishis. Okay. Yeah, the Rishis. They predicted everything. They predicted everything. The Rishis of India. They knew about astronomy, thousands and thousands of years ago about things that we just discovered recently about like time and space through astrophysics. Like they knew about the 24,000 year cycle. Wait, what the fuck was I just talking about? This is what happens when you have a million thoughts going through your head. Like this is my brain. It's easy for me to just like that was like 15 thoughts ago. That's why I need this plus working out. IQ so fucking stupid. I'm 49. I know someone would think like, oh, that's so good. No, fuck that shit. Joke. Intelligence. Intelligence is creativity. Intelligence is. I want a real intelligence test that really tests like every level, creative, intuitive, everything, and then I want to see where I score. Like really, I want to know where I score on a real intelligence test that takes wisdom, knowledge, even sense of humor, like emotional intelligence. Like I want to know where I rank, where I am when you put everything together. Who's the smartest person in the world? Like I want to know who it is, you know? Can't be that. Yeah, it's so hard to quantify. See, it's the problem is that it's so hard to quantify so many of these things. Like, how do you quantify intuition? Subjective. People don't even believe it. I wish there was like a psychic that could like do this. Sorry, I'm thinking about this right now, but I have to. And rest my eyes on the crystal. I know this is a distracted reading, but this is part of the Jesse experience. You're on for a weird roller coaster. It feels really good. I'm not on drugs, I promise. Okay, that's probably. Ow. I don't know what that helped. It was good till the end. Okay. Put that thought for later. There's no answer. Knowing your weaknesses is so important, you know? Like knowing your limitations. Like I think that's like a form of intelligence too, is knowing where you're not intelligent, knowing where you're inconsistent. Like for me, I can be amazing socially, right? But on a different day, I can be horrible. I really mean horrible, anxious. Of course, when you see me on camera, that's my natural, like on camera, like, the second the camera turns on, like I go. It's just my nature. But like as a human, yeah, I do have a lot of weaknesses. Um, yeah, for sure. And that's a form of intelligence. Like I want to know the person that has the IQ, that has the like psychic, how intuitive intelligence. Which makes me think like my best friend Patsy might be one of the smartest people in the world because she's a psychic and she's got a super high IQ and she's exceptionally good socially in all the time in all situations. Being a psychic, she just knows everything already. But I still think me and her are tied. Who's smarter, me or Patsy? We're like siblings. I love her so much. Okay, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so basically tons of swag, tons of charisma. Watch out for people being jealous. Also like it's like I was talking about you being an advanced soul. So from an esoteric point of view, like it's like the final stage of development that has been reached in this lifetime, right? Um and there's this like initiation that at the end of an evolutionary stage, there's like this initiation, right? That represents like the closure, um, related to the development. So this basically like the stabilizing of a state of awareness as symbolized by the kite itself, right? But not everyone with like a kite pattern in their chart has reached that stage where that happens, right? So, um, when we talk about like the development task, we have to, understand the planets that lie at the peak and tail. And of course, that was being Mars slash Neptune, Uranus. Um, that's where like that's like the major one, right? Um, so I talked about both those already. Um, but one thing with Mars and Neptune also is deception. Seeing things clearly, and as a Pisces moon, that's fucking hard. But your chart is fucking out of this fucking planet. Oh my God. I feel honored, but also like it's hard. No, it's not hard. Nothing's hard for me. But like if this was like kind of hard, it's kind of hard. I'm also doing what very few astrologers would do. How long I've been talking for? Oh, only an hour 30 felt like it. It's gonna be like 2 hours. Okay, so basically, um, so the polarity of inside and outside, like, the inner tension of the conflict and the outwardly display and the out like kind of externally displayed harmonious attitude find direct expression within that that opposition, right? um that's why the planets in the opposition need to be understood, right? So because it's Uranus and Neptune, Uranus is freedom, rebellion, Neptune is spirituality, compassion, but also Neptune is self-delusion, addiction, escapism, and Uranus is uh, you know, like just being the rebel without a cause, you know, just being aloof, you know, being a liar, being not really a liar, being yeah, just aloof and so separate from others, you know, being ostracized. There you go, ostracized, right? But it's also about this new age, right? It's about this freedom, it's about liberation, individualism, being your own person, breaking tradition, breaking toxic traits, cycles in the family, right? I feel like you don't live in India. If you do, it's one of the big cities. Okay. So anyways, 1 second. Takes, are you throwing up? I'm trying to look for something. Yeah, I think the big thing with like the kite is that it's like you have this beautiful energy of that grand trine, right? And it's really connecting all aspects, well, most parts of the chart, right? And it's very initiatory. So there'll be like events, very, very karmic fated events that come that you know are really there to test you to like, is your soul ready to like you know, fully ascend, like that kind of vibe. Not that everyone with a kite has this, but as the Pisces moon, 12th house sun, you know, you're here to help people. Um, you'll be taken care of, I believe, when you're, you know, doing what God wants you to do. But God also wants you to learn. Um, so yeah. Um, so yeah. Basically like the initiation in your own abilities, like basically like, you know, the grand trine can it's I'm trying to like put this in words. Yeah, so like with the whole initiation thing, it's like passing these tests makes you able to it literally like it's like you know, matching. It's like you becoming more and more able to kind of radiate this very beautiful transcendental peace and harmony that allows you to meet your karmic duties and move to that next step. So lots there. Happy we talked about it. So you see how your life, you know, with Chiron in Leo, a lot of times people with that, like once again, going back to the father, like, you know, maybe he wasn't around, he worked a lot or something like that, and you didn't have a chance to really grow up, like be a kid. Maybe you had to like work a lot around the house early on. Um, you know, or whatever, right? So um that's the thing with Chiron Leo people is that they need to relearn as adults, especially when they become more successful and they have more free time. Um, and it's important for a partnership that, you know, you are able to be a kid. You know, you are able to just be a fucking kid. And with Chiron and Leo on your midheaven, right? Like I said, that means that you midheaven is career dharma. So to have Chiron, which is the healer, the wounded healer, once you heal that, you know, you are someone who, yeah, who can literally um have that as your career, and you have that grand trine water with the kite, the kite, like, you know, I really, really see that, dare I say, like spiritual leader type vibe. Second time I've ever said that in a reading. And the last one was like only a few readings ago, which is weird. So, yeah. A lot of times people admit having Chiron, they go through pain in career early on. They really have to find the right thing because they can be like the one that's overlooked for a promotion. Um, but they can really be like a prophet in their own profession, you know? Um, so like not everyone will see your worth, which can be very painful, um, which can, you know, lead to recollections of being rejected by parents or other people in life, right? Um, so, and a lot of times people who had this, like their parents didn't really encourage them to do what they're wanting to do. Um, maybe they wanted them to like do something more narrow, more like more specific, and they chose a path that was marketing to themselves. They didn't have that support. Um, so a lot of people who have this, their initial career, like they may, have become very successful, but their initial career doesn't necessarily reflect like their true self. And there's a lot of like career changes, potential, like the person who like starts as like a doctor or a lawyer or an entrepreneur, gets really, really successful, but like doesn't feel like they're doing it for them. And then they become like a healer, you know? And like when that light switches. And it's about healing, spirituality, and anything like feminine. Um, but like regardless of what you do, like you bring a lot of wisdom to your chosen profession. But yeah, it's good to like open the doors to accepting like a more alternative type of career. And in Leo, you're gonna want recognition for it. You're gonna want to shine in it. You're gonna want to work for yourself. Um, and the irony of this all is that like there's that recognition, but it might not. It might in the end, which is a good thing, not come from other people. It might come from that, like what I have, that deep sense of like just like nothing feels better than being able to do a reading for someone and change their life. Because it's happened so many times. Like I don't want to do readings that just talk about bullshit. Like I don't fucking care what minute I'm on right now, 141. Like most astrologers, I'm not trying to make myself sound like so cool or anything, but like I'm explaining like my way of seeing life. I see life through the metaphysical standpoint. I don't see through the physical. God will repay me in the way God wants to repay me. So like if I spend a fuck ton of time on a reading, like I don't have to charge more. I never would even think about that. It's every client I have has a specific karma with me. Some more than others, right? Well, duh, some more than others. Um, and that's just the way it is. So if I'm spending more time on someone, I always think of it as like, you know, not that that person is more important, because I can like do reading that's just as good. I can do a reading that's just as good. However, one second. It's really that's really what changed it for me, was that thought process. I really need to go to the bathroom. Should I just do it? I always hold my, never mind. I hold my pee in. Said it. Okay. Um, it'd be so cool if you were a, uh, like a famous Ayurvedic doctor or something like that. That'd be dope. Um, yeah. So, anyways, moving on. Lots we still haven't talked about. We talked about all these. All that, all that, all that, all that, all that, all that, all that. So, okay. Pluto and Venus. Is it weird if I? Yeah, you know what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's weird. If you were a dude client, it wouldn't be weird, but it's weird. It's unprofessional to go do that. Well, even though these block out all sound, it's still weird. And I'm not gonna go, even though it's right there. I'll go soon. But I don't want to break my momentum. I'm on fucking fire. Okay, so Venus and Pluto together. Basically, until you reach a certain level of self-love, which hope you're reaching with your Saturn return, having wrapped up, you might be attracted to like the more dark type of partners. I have Venus square Pluto, so it's way worse, and that's the story of my life. After Saturn return, I still like a little bit of darkness. I don't like just my girlfriend was a complete bitch to me today. It was the first time in a long time, but she's a complete bitch. I don't like that, but I prefer someone who, like is gonna say all this shit to my face than someone who's gonna like be super nice and passive aggressive and psychoanalyze me and then cheat on me. Like, so you pick your poison. But yeah, basically Venus conjunct Pluto, it's so much love to give that it can freak some people out with the intensity of your love. And it's really like soul bonding, two souls becoming one type of love. Ultra romantic. So you have to watch out for like that becoming too much of a focus in your life, because remember, you have this big personal dharma of North Node and Sag. So on the topic of love, um, you need someone who, with your Juno in Cancer, who in ninth house, who also is on a journey of wisdom, who also is on a journey of you know, of who's also on a journey of, like any other word, of wisdom and learning more about life and experience, and perhaps from a different culture. That would be very, 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 I would be very not surprised if you married someone from a different culture than your own, than Indian. I would not be surprised at all. But then with the Cancer Juno, one second. Where's Mika? So with the Cancer, I swear my cat is, oh, is that Felix? Felix, why are you there? Felix, Felix, where's Mika? Not good that she's busy for so long to find Mika. She's probably with her girlfriend, actually. I don't know, her girlfriend. Okay, anyways, so yeah, with Venus and Pluto, yeah. So like people can struggle with that because like they can come on too strong. It's in Scorpio, so it can be very possessive. If the whole father thing is true, which it most likely is. So son has never really failed me with like the father or whoever like the least dominant parent is being like very not present or weak or weak influence in their life. Um, a client not too long ago had it where um they basically um like didn't really know their father like until a few years like recently, like they just had no role. I didn't really have a problem with it, with the father. They just you know the father played like no role in their lives, and then they met, and it's just like they're just like whatever, that's like a big deal or anything to that person, even though it's your fucking dad, and it's all over your chart. So it's not always negative, 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 but yeah. So there's a lot more to say. I need to hurry the fuck up because I'm saying way too much. But yeah, super passionate. I told you already, like with love, you need to come to me or that really, really realistic, grounded friend or sibling or whatever. Speaking of siblings, having Venus and Ceres and Venus, not Venus, Neptune, Uranus, and Ceres all in the third house. That could make it so you are very close, or not very close, that you have very, very like interesting types of relationships with your siblings. You know, you might have a sibling that's a genius. You might have like a very, you very spiritual sibling, or a spiritual relationship with your sibling. And Ceres there, you know, and it's all in Capricorn. Um, Ceres is kind of like a second moon, right? So Ceres, in this position, wait one sec. Oh, I see. I'm trying to have a game about NBA game on in the background. I always do it, and I just like don't even pay attention to the game at all. But I just like having them on. But NBA is basketball. If you're not familiar, and no teams I even care about are playing it. Time is it? 2-8. 4 hours. But anyways, oh, I chew in. See if I score. So I guarantee you I do. Yup. I just scored that. Literally, I need to show you what I just did. You see, that is the power of fucking confidence. That's probably why I did better on my IQ test. Because I just was like, I'm a genius. I've always known I'm a genius. I tested a genius as a kid. And but like I should be more than just a genius. It's just so easy for me, like fucking puzzles and stuff. Or not puzzles, patterns and all this stuff they ask. You know, I fucking hate it. So that garbage can, you need to see what I just did. I'm over here. Like fucking let me see how that looks. God. Okay. Oh my God. I feel like I need a bigger gold chain because kind of, although it kind of does fit. Maybe like a same length. No, because then they'd both be in the same place. I just don't know if I can rock two chains. I might just keep the same chain and just like switch them up once in a while. Like 2 weeks, like kind of like a divorced kids. Anyways, I scored from here to the couch where I'm sitting on, all the way in that garbage can, all the way over there. Wait, I'm not showing you. You can see it. That thing, that small garbage can. It's very far throw, and it bounced off that like laundry thing. So it was a close one, but I made it happen. That's how you fucking do it. That's how you gotta be in life. You just gotta say, I'm doing this. And if you have people around you that say that you can't do this, or that don't believe that anything is possible, cut them off. If you can't cut them off, like if they're your brother, me, you gotta create boundaries around that. Because and be there, be there in the way that you need to be, but don't let that energy get in the way of you and your dreams, because you are special. And people who I talked about the jealousy thing, right? So it's really important, like, the 5 people that you spend the most time with are you become like those people. And as a Pisces moon, it's even more integral that, it's better. Oh, also, I didn't even say about Pisces moon. you need to spend time alone. It's not a want, it's a need. You need alone time. I think I said that earlier actually, but like that's where you really, truly, truly find. Okay, let's put on Lakers pregame. Yeah, let's put this on. 1 second, you see. Who's playing it? Where the game is. Where is it? It's playing in LA. No, it's not. It's in New Orleans. So it streams away. God, just watching live streams away. It's image. Okay. This one. Okay, that's good. Okay, now we're good. So, okay. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So you need someone who can feel that depth, who can give you space and alone time, who's also on their own path, who wants to be your travel buddy and who wants to experience life and who's not closed-minded and who's open to new information, new ways of seeing the world, so that, you know, being with someone from a different culture is like one of the best ways for that. Then with, you know, Juno there in Cancer, like that person needs to feel like home, metaphorically, right? Because like another thing in your chart, you have Saturn on the IC, which is very difficult, and that speaks to like lots of restrictions early on, which goes with that the thing with the 12th house sun. So, you know, your early life was probably you had to work your fucking ass off, extra responsibilities around the house, and you know, just a tough upbringing, right? That really gave you this grit to be super successful. But yeah. Um, and fifth house moon, I already said, like having like a creative hobby, maybe even the creative hobby that can be transformed into your work is super important. But with the ninth house, Mars being such a massive part of your chart, conjunct the vertex, which is like so much fate and the doorway to higher awareness. Um, I don't know. I'd imagine it has to do something like with something where you're learning higher philosophy, you're learning more about truth through your dharma and through your work. So being a healer is like an amazing way of doing that. So aside from that, you know, Mercury and Scorpio, that just makes you have a deep probing mind, a mind that just like can become obsessed with information that you're interested in, just go deep, 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 deep. Very intense communicator, someone who, you know, a first house Mercury person, maybe 12th house in Placidus, but like, so that would be someone who can like connect with the other side, and who also has to like kind of watch themselves when it comes to thoughts and taking on other people's thoughts. So you really have to like, once again, like I said, the people you spend time with, it's better for you to be very careful with that, especially if you're like working in like a corporation or something like that. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So, yeah, really like a hate for like the superficial shit. Like I don't see any of that in your chart as someone who likes, I mean, Libra, the sun gives you this ability to like be in that world, you know, to like be sociable and to be like all the Libra stuff, like really good people skills and stuff. But you know, you like the depth, you know, you crave it, like that real transformative knowledge. And in the first house, it's just being more being like a very independent thinker, you know, very curious and like really questioning a lot about things. So you hate to be told what to do or what to think. And you know, Mercury in Scorpio also have like a very intense communication style a lot of times. And it's unaspected. Is it really? So that unaspected Mercury's sometimes those people don't really have a filter. So they can sometimes talk a lot, but you know, rising Scorpio with so much water, usually like is more analytical, you know, like they're like kind of like scanning the room, scanning people around them before they like jump in. But with the unaspected Mercury, yeah. Let me just double check that though, because it lies to me. It's kind of squaring. It squares Saturn. That counts. Like, it's like 9 degrees. Yeah, so maybe not. But like a loose square of Saturn, but that would just indicate like your thought processes being like kind of like people like trying to like make you believe like early on that like your way of thinking was wrong and making you question your own intelligence and your own way of thinking and just the fact that it's maybe like less traditional, that kind of stuff. But it's a very loose square, so I'm not gonna go into it that much. The ascendant square Saturn, though, that one's exact. Now that's a tough fucking aspect to have, um, because it usually makes someone quite shy, um, and it can make someone have confidence issues. Although, like I already said, all that other stuff, um, about you know, your KITE aspect and everything. But it really gives an aversion to like the kind of traditional or any kind of authority. Um, but yeah, like a lot of times it goes with like that Chiron in Leo, right? Like the early childhood enthusiasm gets tempered by all these rules and limitations. So there can be verbal abuse from a parent, psychological bullying at school, stuff like that. Early setbacks that can lead to a low self-esteem early on and make you really doubt yourself. So it creates a late bloomer, but now you enter your Saturn return and you're like starting to like all that energy kind of goes away. You gain this extreme self-confidence. It gets easier and easier and easier. And yeah, so the second half of your life is a lot easier than the first for sure. Like right now you're like in the clear. Um, and by the way, um, most people what they do is they get the reading, the follow-up, and the current astrology / spiritual alignment. So just let me know. That's like completely like different, like transits, but like I go into like way deeper stuff. It's like a 3-hour session. The follow-up is like an hour. If you'd be interested in that, the current astrology is it ends up being like a 3-hour like live session on Zoom. So you can let me know. We can talk about that. And I give like a very special price. Um, yeah, but yeah, so it's like especially yeah, from like a very conservative, like strict society, it's very, very difficult. Makes someone rebel. Um, so it's better to live like yeah, like a more progressive kind of society. So the key with this one is to like really learn to express yourself as much as possible, right? Without caring about what people think. And to just say fuck it, like I do. Um, So that's like the main ones, your ascendant. Okay. So then Venus square midheaven, that speaks to how like love can get in the way of your career. And yeah, I think I've highlighted that a lot. And how like this potential obsession, like these like relationships can take up too much of your energy, and how you really need to learn to separate the two and have a partner that is understanding of that. And yeah, like you're a very romantic person, but you know, it's like it can't take over and be like the only, like you can't make your lover God, as they say, right? Okay. Um, so aside from that, you have a really nice Jupiter. Yeah. So basically, like, yeah, just like helping people is your doorway of higher awareness, higher wisdom, gaining knowledge, wisdom, all that Sagittarius stuff is just really how you take things to the next level, in every aspect of your life. Um, okay, I covered that. So Ceres I was talking about. So Ceres and Capricorn people, it's like a second moon, but not as important. So moons, so those two play off really well together, Capricorn and Pisces. Ceres, third house moon. You would like to nurture people by how you like kind of teach them, and like makes you a very good networker, um, and very, very like good at praising people and seeing like the little things that people have that are good. So really good leadership. Um, and yeah, just like enjoying like nurtured by like little conversations, but probably deeper ones. Um, and then Capricorn, um, it's like interesting. It's like the person who like really like sometimes looks like like they feel a lot of nurturance through their meeting their ambitions and really like giving back, like fully like meeting their goals in life, right? And they're really good at teaching others about like self-discipline and like what it really takes to achieve your goals in life, you know? So that's very big. Um, so yeah. But sometimes with that, but you have so much water, but still like it can be someone who like gives, and there needs to be a good fair of like give and take, learning to accept because you're such an empath. They can like nurture, but yeah. So then you have Black Moon Lilith in the fourth house in Aquarius. So that just speaks to kind of like the childhood, the earlier part of life, and kind of how that can kind of come back to haunt you. Um, just yeah, um, just like how family members to be jealous of you even, um, and how some of your darker sides can come out around them. Also, in Black Moon Lilith and Aquarius is about how friendships can be a little bit difficult in this lifetime. Like friends failing to like live up to expectations, like not being able to count on them. Um, but like then you have Jupiter in the 11th house, which gives you lots of luck, and expansion when it comes to meeting the right groups of people. Um, which yeah. And it's a 29-degree Jupiter also in Virgo. So it's like that's helping you with the earth and understanding like, for example, like a 29-degree Jupiter is like the ultimate test of your faith and everything. And, it squares your nose, which I like to read out of this book. Because square the nose is a skip step. So when Jupiter squares the nose, this is karmic. The nature of the unresolved karmic material relates to the person's beliefs, the teachers or teachings that they have followed, and their relationship to faith in general. The skipped karmic step can indicate an issue with honesty, either through a conflict of how the truth has been perceived or through an inner lie. The nature of the inner lie often stemming from internal exaggeration at the expense of the true picture of the nature of the self. So that can be like the low vibe of Pisces, which is like self-delusion and lying to yourself, that kind of thing. This untruth can become the basis for a crisis of self, or if exposed publicly, can also change the level of trust someone has placed on you, thereby changing the belief system they have about you. This placement can signify a crisis of faith. Sorry, I'm spitting my chewing tobacco. Well, it's not tobacco, it's nicotine only. So a crisis of faith or a conflict within the self about an understanding of the truth, or an issue with a teaching they have followed. This crisis of faith becomes a fundamental doubt in the capacity of the person to understand their place in the greater scheme of things. This can therefore indicate an issue with alienation. So I think of that as like past life conditioning also. And having been led astray with the South Node in the 8th house in Gemini, and how, that can relate to, kind of following others' leads when it comes to like personal values, it being too dependent on other people or sources of power, stuff like that, right? And as I said before, the Sag, another thing about the Sag, that you're seeking freedom and higher wisdom this lifetime, but also a one-pointed vision, not like that all over the place stuff, right? Because with Gemini South Node, there's a tendency to like fill your life with all these little like meaningless things. So in this life, you're really trying and to have like a higher vision. And with the square Jupiter, it's like that is, Jupiter is your expansion, it's your faith, it's all that, right? So it's like there's something in a past life that kept you away from truly experiencing like, maybe like a big lie to you, right? Then also the moon, which is the mother a lot of times, but I think like of it more as like the emotional nature. So there could be some karmic issue with the mother. But yeah, what it says here is with this we can anticipate unresolved issues with the family of origin, with the formation of the personality, and with the emotional body. There may be specific unresolved material involving the mother or primary caregiver. There will be an inherent insecurity in the personality. Wait. There may be a specific unresolved material. Wait, where was I? The formation of the personality and with the emotional body. There may be specific unresolved material involving the mother or primary caregiver. There will be an inherent insecurity in the personality via tendency to project the experience of security or happiness outside of the self onto the family or significant others. This placement may indicate unresolved gender issues. There may be dissatisfaction with gender roles, with issues stemming from the patriarchal bias of our culture and the resulting suppression of the feminine. Or there may be a recent gender switch between this incarnation and the previous one, resulting in a strong identification with the opposite gender. So, yeah, I think of that as like the nurturing part. Your needs as a Pisces moon, like deep spiritual needs, deep, lots of love needed, but also lots of space. and understanding of a very complex person maybe didn't come through. So, okay. How long have I been talking? Holy shit. 2 hours 14. Jesus. Oh, but that's pretty much, I have to look at the stars. But part of fortune is 6, basically in Aries. It's like you feel at your flow state when you are fucking entrepreneur grinding, like when you're in your independent, like me, like I'm doing me energy, and when your day-to-day kind of like routine activities, all that stuff is like really like on like really like when you're being of service, and when you're like also pets really big. Pets can give you lots of joy. Um and yeah, when you're like day to day, like is meeting your spiritual, emotional, physical, and all every type of need. Especially with Mars opposite Uranus, there's probably a need to work out and to get that volcanic energy out that can come from that aspect, especially with it being like, you know, the big one of the kite. Um so yeah, descendant in Taurus, once again, you'll want a partner that can ground you, that can be like that solid rock that's consistent. Um, and who lets you go through your process. And then with the 29-degree, Jupiter in Virgo people, that goes back to that perfectionism, right? Um, obsession with detailed perfection. So really making sure that like you have self-compassion to yourself, and that you're fine with not always being so perfect, but it gives like a strong desire to be of service, once again, a strong desire to be there for people. And once again, I have to tell you, boundaries. Make sure you're not pushing away that Sagittarius North. No need to expand and to create your own identity based on you and only you. So yeah. And 11th house, Jupiter just gives like a ever widening circle of friends. Like I have this, and every place I move, I just get lucky with friends. I mean, I have this in Placidus, the whole sign. It's in 12th house. So also it makes like your big goals and visions super important to you. And you're able to like inspire large groups of people and have like larger than life goals at 29 degrees. So it might be like things that take a lifetime to accumulate. Um, but when they do, they're massive. Okay, let's check this now. So another thing about so it's called the anaretic degree, right? For Jupiter. So 29 degrees. Um, and it's very, very faded, right? So it can bring lots of challenges to faith, challenges to like, can I be that person that I've talked about for 2+ hours, which usually way over how long we talk. But it's like the final test. It's a very special point. Like how well have you learned lessons? Um, so it's like things you haven't mastered, and the fact that it squares your nodes. I think that with the mother being there too, with the opposition of Jupiter and the moon, how some of a Pisces moon. Another thing I didn't really mention is that they can take in a lot of the shame and like the negative emotions their mother might have as their own. So it's learning to like find what's yours and what's not yours, right? So a lot of times, like with a chart like yours, like living somewhere away from your family would be beneficial, big time. Um, my guess would be that you probably were like, I need to get the fuck out early on. Um, but yeah, it can be like very good for psychic ability. Um, So yeah, with Jupiter there, there can be like either like an overcompensation or the opposite, like not acknowledging this great energy. Jupiter's the teacher, right? So that overcompensation would be like that overcompensation of perfectionism, right? So yeah, there can be like a proneness to exaggeration, not knowing when to stop or overdoing things. So with your whole makeup, it's about learning to say no, learning to say no, learning to like be very, very firm in yourself and very, very strong. Understanding that your dharma comes number one. But really, it's about developing faith in yourself. That's the true meaning of it. Before you're able to really trust others and go in the outer world and be that Chiron midheaven healer. But people with this have, can really use spirituality as a way to kind of guide them. Well, it can be used as an escape, a low vibe, or a way to have higher awareness and to see the world in a more clear view. All right, let's see stars. Wow, what a long reading. Definitely the only one I'm doing tonight. I got to stare into the computer. Psyche on your sun. Okay, so we'll just go. Ooh, you have Alphecca rising. Damn. So that's interesting. One sec. Save this. So for these, I have to like go into the Alphecca, known as Hecca, right? What's the name that they use for it? What's it synonymous with? It's called Hecca, right? It's a really good one, by the way. I know that it's like really good for like good relationships with women, artistic talents, literature, all that stuff. But rising, it says, a life spent in various pleasurable pursuits, love's adornments, secretly engaged in love affairs, potentially. A liking for literature, art and science, artistic talents, and also success in trade and commerce. Glorious, a high priest or priestess, a friend of leaders, and an energetic body, becomes famous and loved by many. This is what I'm literally well-known, famous, resourceful, very well learned, fond of philosophical dissertations. This is one of the best stars, by the way. Eloquent, creative, insightful, ingenious, fond of music and the arts, kind-hearted, agreeable, and with a delicate life, happy, sensible, and thoughtful, skillful, and fortunate, self-taught, esteemed for, damn, there's so much. There's usually like such little. For reason, self-taught, esteemed for reasoning ability, a propensity for what is virtuous, well-spoken, and pleasant to talk to, amiable and well-tempered manners, solicitous, solicitous, possess the art of judgment, and generous, a splendid and lustrous life, glorious, mighty, and commanding nature, fame, busy with many activities, bounty, lots of resources, like well known or feared in cities and regions, prosperity from youth and in one's own city. Wow, what a star. So Psyche being on your sun is very interesting too. Let's see what else. Yeah, so it's like just really understanding like really, 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 really like it's very soulful, you know, and very good at understanding like the psyches of others, the depths. So that's nice. I'm looking for something. Also, Psyche, usually when it's on like Venus or Moon, but it keeps like youthful looks for a long time. So, try to find what it means to be when go to sun. Yeah, so yeah, it can influence the psychic faculties of an individual and the path one takes to realizing their true selves and unlocking their potential. Mm. Yeah, so you're someone who's very, very self-analytical, who lives by your own principles, um, and very early in life, like understanding that like very self-analytical, you know, understanding that you're not like everyone else and that um yeah, um like someone who digs deep into their own psyche. Second, here it is. So so yeah, conjunct your sun means you incorporate your ideas and beliefs about the soul and mind into the very fabric of your being. So yeah, very, very soulful. And you incorporate those into your everyday life, to your sense of identity, I mean. Okay, what about in the midheaven? Anything special there? 14, nothing there. I'm expecting anything. Lilith on your Jupiter, that is like the woman who can make it in the man's world, linked to like feminism, and so we already saw things of that come up, so it's kind of interesting. That makes very strong women who don't take shit. Fortuna on your Venus. Oh my God. So Venus is about obviously like the arts and you know all that is beautiful and money too. And Fortuna is about fame. I'm just telling you what I see, yo. Wow, look at that. White Moon Selena on your Pluto. So um White Moon Selena is like a protective shield and Pluto is your darkness. So also I didn't really talk about Pluto in the first house. Because like Pluto in the first house by itself just makes one like a very, very transformative leader who's constantly challenging themselves, right? And also others to embrace change. And they have a very powerful personality. So with that, having White Moon Selena on that gives you protection to that kind of Scorpio side of you, that outer side. God really loves you, my friend. If you knew what I was looking at, you'd be like, wow, how can you tell all these numbers so close together? Okay, nothing there. Nope, not close enough. That's good. Hamal is not the best. Okay, that one. This will probably be the last one, right? Yeah. Oh my God. Serious. Are you serious? You have Sirius. I was talking about Sirius, the wealth star. But on Mars, I'm not sure what that would do. Let's find out. But Sirius is when I'm gonna make an article about this very soon about the astrology of America. And other countries. But shh, my secret. No one's ever done it. I'm gonna do like a whole series, I think, on like the charts of different countries and stuff. I have like a whole list. But yeah, so Sirius is really, really ambitious. And it's great, it's a great one. Mars though, you never know with Mars, it can be bad. Okay, so Mars conjunct Sirius, courageous, generous, works well in connection with metals. Very old. Let's see if there's anything else on the internet. So it says sometimes Mars series people are punished for taking on the exceptional or marginalized role. They can struggle to be themselves because their environment punishes them for taking on the role of being exceptional and different. So that kind of goes with what I've been saying. Super interesting, huh? How it all comes together like this. Anyways, what a ride. 2 hours 33. Holy shit. Ugh. This Merlin stone on my heart chakra. Hmm. I just fell asleep for like an hour. So anyways, as I said, this will be on YouTube forever, so no need to download it, but you can if you want. It's like, I don't know, I think on Google, like, search like download YouTube video, but that's why I have them on YouTube because I used to email them to people and people would not download them like I told them to. And then I just got a message from a client from like 3 years ago and she's like, I can't open it. I'm like, well, I told you to download it and you didn't because people always want to watch these years later. So anyways, it's been a pleasure. Also leave me a review. I just found out like this is something that can be done if you want, of course. But like not like like basically like when I finish an order, I hit fulfilled, and then I don't know, a week later or something, it like asks if you want to like do a review. So yeah, and those go right on my site, like on like where people buy the readings. So yeah, that those definitely help. So anyways, yeah, let me know, and if you want to do the follow up or the follow up and current astrology, just let me know. And we can talk about that. That's not like a long wait like this was. That's like different. That's like we'll get you scheduled in as soon as I have my next opening. And my birthday's Saturday. Yay. So anyways, much love to you. Hope you enjoyed, and ciao.